it's great to know how something began. And the story of theta healing is actually really incredible. The woman who founded theta healing is Vianna. She's the author of the book that you guys just got. And around 1994, 1995, Vianna was a single mom of 3 young children and was working hard and trying to support them and had a complicated life like many people do. And her right leg started to be very painful and swell up, and she was diagnosed with bone cancer in her right femur. Theta healing hadn't been invented yet at the time, so she didn't do theta healing yet, but she was a naturopath. She did several alternate healing modalities, and so she kept trying to treat herself for this cancer. She never stopped working because she couldn't. Her ex-husband, the father of the children, was ill and wasn't able to help out, and so Vianna was it for these kids. She knew a lot of other healers. She lives in a small city in Idaho, and so all the healers in the community kept coming and trying to help her out. Vianna had an intuitive sense that it actually wasn't bone cancer. She felt that she had been poisoned by heavy metals. She felt that she had too much mercury, which if you're not able to process heavy metals out of your body, you can pretty easily build up mercury in your system. She felt that that was it. She went to Western doctors as well as the alternative practitioners that she was seeing. Finally, they did a bone biopsy, which is a really painful procedure where I guess they literally scrape bone out of you, and that shortened her leg by 2 or 3 inches. Yeah, so then she was not only in pain, having swelling, but she was limping and hobbling around by this time, still couldn't afford to stop working, so she was doing massage and her intuitive readings, and she gave herbs. She was an herbalist, prescribed different herbs to people. But nothing was really helping this cancer. Finally, the bone sample was sent to Mayo Clinic and was diagnosed as lymphatic cancer, which is really bad. She was right, it wasn't bone cancer, it was lymphatic cancer, but it was still cancer. So about this same time, Vianna decided that she was going to have a party and invite all the alternative healers who had been so kindly helping her, and her kids and their kids and families, and they all went up to the mountains just outside this town, beautiful town out in Idaho, and they were having like a picnic, and Vianna's aunt was there, and she had a really, really bad stomach ache. So she kept complaining, asking Vianna to please work on her and heal her, because she knew that she was a naturopath, and Vianna, you know, meanwhile has cancer, you know, and is in horrible pain, but she's like, okay, finally, she's like, all right, let's just go over here, and I'll do a little healing on you, you know, here we go. Well, she didn't have any of her herbs with her, and she didn't have time to do a massage, and so she just closed her eyes and just did this thing and said, you know, heal this, and her aunt was instantly healed, the pain left, and Vianna went, huh, interesting. The next day, someone came in to her shop where she did massage and everything. Horrible, a man in horrible back pain. And again, she thought the herbs wouldn't help him that much, I guess, and she did this thing. She closed her eyes and did this thing on him, and his back pain was instantaneously gone. And again, something clicked, huh? And she thought, whatever I'm doing just worked on these guys. No reason it couldn't work on my cancer. She was also, and this is important, we'll talk about it later on, even though it was herself that she was healing, and so you would think she would have a lot of stock on it and be really attached to it, like, I've got to heal myself because of my 3 kids, and you know, she was so exhausted by this point, and had sort of tried everything, and she was just sick of it, and she almost didn't even care. So she wasn't that attached to it. She was just like, let's try it. And she closed her eyes and did this thing that would later be called theta healing on herself. And she did exactly what I'm going to teach you guys to do in a few minutes. And the swelling immediately went down. in her leg. The pain completely disappeared, and this is the part that kills me. It lengthened. Her leg was no longer 2 or 3 inches shorter than her left leg, so that she didn't limp anymore. She hadn't been able to put any weight on it before without great pain. And she kept throughout the day testing, like, okay, I'm gonna put weight on it again. It still doesn't hurt. It worked. And so she started doing this on all of her clients and getting wonderful results. Now the work still had a ways to go, so it wasn't all the way there yet. But she began to help so many people that she got so many clients, and she didn't do any advertising. This was in '95. The internet was around, but it wasn't as, you know, all important and vital as it is now. This was all word of mouth, and people were just flocking to her until she realized that she got like a year-long waiting list, and realized that she better teach other people how to do this technique so that not just her could do it. And this is how theta healing classes began, and that's when she sat down and thought, what is it that I'm doing? When you're a really gifted healer like she is, sometimes you just do it automatically. She was able to break it down into steps, and she started teaching classes, and that's how theta healing began.